I had never thought I'd be in a position like this, standing in the dimly lit chamber of the Makora Council, my pulse pounding, the weight of a decision no human should ever be forced to make pressing down on me. The room was silent except for the low hum of the alien energy fields that ran along the floor, walls, and ceiling, giving the chamber an ethereal glow. 2 alien sisters, barely more than children by human standards, stood before me, their lavender skin shimmering under the soft lights, their violet eyes wide and filled with fear. A Makora elder, tall and regal, stepped forward. "Human," it said, its voice echoing unnaturally, "you are the last hope of our species. One of these sisters must be chosen to repopulate our world. Choose wisely, for the survival of the Makora depends on your decision." I swallowed hard, the enormity of the situation pressing on me. How could I pick one over the other? They were sisters, bonded by blood, by life itself. Choosing one would condemn the other to a fate worse than death, a life of isolation, of being used merely as a means to an end. The sisters' eyes met mine, and I saw the unspoken question in them. Why me? Why now? I took a deep breath. I can't choose, I whispered, my voice trembling. I won't pick one over the other. The elder's antennae twitched in irritation. Human, refusal is not acceptable. One must be chosen, or both will perish. This is the law. My mind raced. There had to be another way. My training as a human operative had taught me improvisation, resourcefulness, and courage. Could I defy the Makora laws? Could I save them both? My gaze flicked to the sisters. One had a faint scar above her brow, the other had an almost imperceptible shimmer along her arms, markers of survival, of resilience. I saw life, not numbers, not duty. I will take both, I said firmly. The chamber fell silent. Even the energy hum seemed to pause. I will save both of them. You can't force me to destroy one to save the species. The elder's eyes narrowed. You dare defy the council? I do, I said. Because they are not just tools for your survival, they are living beings. The chamber doors slammed open, and 2 Makora guards stepped forward, their sleek, armored bodies gleaming under the soft light. They advanced toward me, weapons drawn. My pulse quickened, but I didn't hesitate. I lunged forward and grabbed the sisters' hands. Run! I shouted. Their small hands fit perfectly into mine, their grip firm with fear and trust. We sprinted down the corridor, the Makora guards in hot pursuit. The hum of the energy fields pulsed faster, alerting the entire facility to our escape. The sisters clung to me, their lavender skin warm under my touch. I whispered words of reassurance, though I knew the language barrier was nearly absolute. Somehow, they understood. We reached the cargo bay, where my ship was docked. The metallic doors groaned as I pried them open with my strength, and the sisters stumbled inside. The ship's AI activated automatically, recognizing my biometric signature. As the bay doors began to close, I felt a hand on my arm, a soft, tentative touch from the older sister. I trust you, she said in broken galactic common, her voice trembling. The younger one echoed her sentiment with a quiet nod, her eyes still wide with fear but glimmering with hope. I guided them to seats and secured them with the harnesses. My own heart raced. As I initiated launch, the Makora guards arrived at the bay doors, pounding on the metal. The doors sealed just in time, and the gravity of my decision hit me fully. We were escaping with 2 beings that the Makora had declared indispensable, and now I was a fugitive from an entire species. The stars blurred as we left the planet's orbit, the sisters' small hands still gripping mine. I looked at them and realized that they weren't just passengers, they were family now, in a way that transcended biology. The first few hours of our flight were tense. The sisters whispered to each other, their language a melodic stream of syllables I couldn't understand, but the tone was gentle, calming. Slowly, the fear in their eyes began to fade, replaced by cautious curiosity. I offered them water and rationed food packs, explaining each action as best as I could. When night fell in the ship, our artificial night cycle, I activated the gravity suspension pods for them, allowing them to float gently in the cabin. The older sister smiled, a faint blush spreading across her cheeks, and reached for my hand again. "You are brave," she murmured. I smiled back, though my heart was heavy with worry. "We'll be safe. I promise." Days passed as we navigated through the uncharted sectors of the galaxy. We avoided patrols, slipping through hidden wormholes and abandoned space stations. The sisters learned quickly, adapting to human technology with astonishing speed. They laughed when zero gravity made their hair float around their faces, and they marveled at the stars through the reinforced viewport. But the Makora were relentless. Holographic warnings flashed across our comm systems, demanding our return and threatening consequences for non-compliance. I ignored them. The sisters had already survived so much, they deserved a chance at life beyond servitude. One evening, as we were drifting near a nebula cloud, the younger sister approached me. Her violet eyes met mine, and she spoke in a voice that was firm despite her years. "Human, you saved us both." "Why?" I paused, unsure how to answer. I had no grand plan, no political motive. I had acted out of instinct, out of the undeniable knowledge that taking one and leaving the other would have been wrong. "Because it's the right thing to do," I said simply. "Because no one should decide the worth of your life but you." She smiled, a small, radiant expression that lit up the cabin. Her sister mirrored it, and for the first time since our escape, I felt a sense of peace. As we approached a remote, uncharted planet suitable for the sister's species, I prepared the landing. The planet's surface was lush and green, with rivers snaking through the terrain and forests that stretched as far as the eye could see. Here, they would be free, safe from Makora law, free to choose their own destinies. The sisters stepped onto the soil for the first time in years, their expressions a mixture of awe and relief. They turned to me, bowing slightly, a gesture of respect, gratitude, and something deeper that I couldn't quite name. "You gave us life," the older one whispered. "And you'll always have a home," I said, my voice thick with emotion. For a moment, the universe seemed to pause. Two alien sisters, saved from a fate they never asked for, standing with a human who had defied an entire species to protect them. It wasn't just heroism, it was compassion, love, and the understanding that life was never about rules or orders, but about the choices we make to protect and cherish those who cannot protect themselves. As I prepared to leave, they held out their hands, urging me to stay a little longer. I smiled, knowing that our bond would endure, that no distance in the galaxy could sever it. And in that quiet dawn, under the alien sun of a new world, I realized that sometimes, the right choice isn't the one the universe demands, it's the one your heart insists upon. I had been assigned to pick one. Instead, I saved both. And in doing so, I discovered that true courage was not about obeying orders, it was about protecting life, no matter the cost.